couple streams today. I'm just testing out a couple things, and then from there, I'm gonna come back after 4:30. So I'm gonna do something at 4:30, and then come back. So I just want to test a couple things here. It sounds like I am. Am I muted? Let me see. Let's double check. Let's see if I'm muted. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. I'm looking at myself. So it's like an ultimate loop. I don't understand why. You know what I got to do? I have to. We're gonna keep me honest today, y'all. We're gonna fix whatever these audio issues are. Um, I have to. So yeah. So for one, let's fix this camera. We're gonna fix whatever these audio issues are. Yeah, we're gonna try to fix the audio and get these because after we were good at one point. For one, let's fix this camera. All right, so I think it's starting to sound a little better. So, actually, I want to try something else while we're at it. Try something else while we're at it. Ooh, that is loud. So, I want to see how this catches the music and stuff too. So I'm just gonna talk for a little bit and then I'm gonna go back. So let's do this here. Um, what up, bro? I want to see how this. I'm messing with the audio at the center, man. We had a stream and things got mixed up. So, but we're like I was saying before, man. That's my face. So we're gonna try to keep me honest here today. There's a couple things that I want to work on. However, I do have to take a call in about 20 minutes just to square some things away. Um, and I want to, like I said, I want to fix that. So what I'm gonna do today is no, I want to finish up building the Minecraft server. Well, at least fixing the Minecraft server because we started to do it last night and started to run into some issues, did some troubleshooting. So I think I figured out what the problem is. We were using the wrong Java version. So we're gonna build out the Minecraft. We're gonna go finish up building the Minecraft server. I'm actually gonna probably start the whole process again just because I want to um, create a tutorial for those who want to build their own Minecraft server. So we'll go through that. And then we'll just, we'll do some tech talk and some stuff. I want to talk about, so we talked about building the online community yesterday. Today, and actually, Kron, I'm gonna probably have to talk to you about that in a second. But actually, you know what, guys? You know what? I'll be right back. Hold on. All right. Let's see how we're sounding now. Let's see what we're sounding like. I'm gonna make sure we're good. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me clearly, because again, we are having all kinds of. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me clearly, like this. I don't know. So I have the okay. I'm gonna we're gonna have to look through this because it still sounds like it's muffled or something. Oh, you do sound it sounds clear. All right, cool. Appreciate it, brother. Um, so where was I before? Oh, yes. Maybe then maybe it's just my speakers, whatever. All right. So what I'm doing today is like I said, um we're gonna finish up the Minecraft server. I want to get a lot of things ready for our initiatives next month, and I gotta keep it a buck with y'all. I am a little behind the curve with it, with the work schedule, uh, the business, and this other things. It's been a little rough. But while I'm doing that, I don't want y'all to, get bored talking to me about or just keeping me company while I'm trying to get these things done. I wanted to talk about a couple things. First and foremost, I think we'll talk about DeepSeek today, so you'll get my opinion on that. Um, you know, is it is it what it's all cracked up to be? Why the big fuss? Are there security risks? Or is it just another, basically the Chat GPT version of what's happening with TikTok, or the AI version of what's happening with TikTok? So we'll talk about that. Again, we'll talk about other stuff that's going on here at the center. As you can see, sorry. Um, yeah, the cameras are a bit choppy for the center stuff, the center cameras, like the stage cameras and everything. So we're gonna work on that. I need to get the I want to get this whole audio debacle squared away. And honestly, I just want to be able to get the just get everything going. So y'all are more than welcome to kick it with me here while we're doing this. Um, if not, we got some other stuff going on. Um, sounds like all right. So I'm just gonna do one more thing that I have to kind of get up for. So just give me one more second, y'all. I promise I'll be back.
Got a headache. I seem like I've been having that a lot lately. It seems like a migraine, like in the center.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Um, testing, 1, 2, 3. Ty, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm good. Happy New Year. Like I said, things have just kind of been a little crazy. So we are going to just cover a couple things while I'm getting the stuff ready. So, first and foremost, I want to highlight one of our new content creators who will be working with us um, at Alpha Esports and Technology. Um, he goes by Zay the Blurred Gamer. He does a lot of streams with Call of Duty and then Marvel Rivals recently. And he does a lot of stuff for charity. So he streams a lot, and you can donate to the charities that he's representing. So recently he was working with the Extra Life Foundation. So he streams, and you can be entertained for a good cause. So let's go ahead and just check out some stuff he's got going on over on his stream. So see, we could get it in here. So Zay usually streams. Trying to see what his schedule is. But like you can see here, he's got the stuff for Extra Life, and he does like I said, mostly Call of Duty. But like I said, I see he started doing some Marvel Rivals stuff recently as well. So shout out to him. He also is a part of the Jedi gang, and he was with the big creators with Community. So he's definitely a good pickup for us. Great guy. Had a conversation with him last week, and he really does embody everything that we try to do with Alpha Esports and Technology with our community and everything. So like I said, shout out to him, and like I said, welcome to the pack. Um, Other streamers we have Clarosity. Uh, Claire is Claire streams a bunch of different games. Um, really awesome at Splatoon and Overwatch. Their Mercy is like unmatched. So I'm trying to see. Oh, okay, so they were supposed to stream yesterday and it got canceled. But they usually stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then on Saturdays they're usually hanging out with us at Alpha Esports and Technology, saving the teams behinds with Mercy. So go ahead and give them a follow as well. So we got Zay the Blurred, and then we got Clarosity. Um, I'm not sure. I guess maybe they're changing up their stuff. They had some videos, but like I said, do a lot of things with, like I said, Overwatch, Splatoon. I've seen a few, and then we have Lord Valak, who is like one of our, so Clarosity is as well, but Lord Valak is definitely one of our day ones here. He's also a member of the Method community. So he has that team of streamers that he streams with, but he streams as well. I'm trying to see his schedule. His schedules is also Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Does some stuff on Thursdays occasionally as well. So he's been streaming for a while. Like I said, he's with Method and Infinity Fam. As you can see, he's also down with us. Represents the pack. So shout out to him as well. Like I said, looks like he's been doing some Dead by Daylight and Marvel Rivals. Actually, he's been playing a bunch of different stuff. Looks like he's been doing Dragon Age. So we have those three, and then I have my brother Kron Games over here. Just started streaming recently. Mainly been doing a lot of stuff with Marvel Rivals. And just so you know, man, I was trying to join your stream and join your game the other day, but it kept telling it wouldn't let me join. So I don't know if you were doing ranked or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so like I said, I was trying to join your stream the other day. But yes, go follow Kron. Go follow Kron Games 203. Like I said, I follow him on my personal page, but also now we're gonna follow and see if we can get him to get a wolf pack logo over here in this corner. You know, gotta get him set up in the OBS and get some Wolfpack logos here. So we got that, and then of course, you know, you got me. You got Djax over here, which is me streaming and double streaming. So so shout out to everybody. Shout out to the pack. Shout out to the family. I appreciate all y'all. Let's see what's going on here. I'm just gonna check my LinkedIn because we are streaming on YouTube, we are streaming on Twitch, and we are streaming on LinkedIn as well. Shout out to DJ Burrell. Yes, sir. Appreciate you checking in. Like I said, I apologize for the delay. Life be lifing, y'all. Life be lifing, but you know, we endure and we survive and we persevere. So yeah, so like I said, so I wanted to introduce them, so I'll be probably bigging them up again later on in the stream as well, just to talk about them, because like I said, what they're doing for their own platforms, but also showcasing and highlighting the Alpha Esports Technology community is important, especially as we move into the next phase. We move into 2025. So January was basically kind of finalizing some stuff from 2024, and then we had, you know, all the freezing weather and stuff, so that was a delay. But now we're moving into 2025, the 2025 initiatives, and I mentioned before, one of those initiatives that I am focusing on is the community beyond 1300 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, Suite 3109. So that's the address of the center. So, you know, we want to build a community beyond our center. You know, like I said, we were getting a lot of feedback and a lot of requests from parents and gamers from all over the world, all over the country, you know, from Chicago to Connecticut to New York City to Boston. I think there were some folks out west in I think Colorado and California, and you know, prayers for everybody affected by the fires in California. So you know, we're getting a lot of requests to join online to join us online virtually. So we wanted to, so the first initiative we wanted to tackle Q1 of 2025 is building that online community. But of course, you know, just like Wu-Tang, Alpha Esports Technology is for the children, and we want to focus on making sure that the kids are in an online safe community, safe online community first. So you know, we did some research and tried to figure out how we could find these communities, or how we could find a community to join. And there wasn't anything that we really saw that kind of fit everything that we were looking for. And when I say everything that we were looking for, you know, not just the games, but, you know, building that community, building, you know, building the roadways and the paths to STEM and tech careers and cybersecurity, and also building great people who just happen to be great gamers. So not only do we want, great gamers, we also want to develop their, their essential skills. So we don't call them soft skills, we call them essential. So we want to work on their, their communication. We want to work on their problem solving, their critical thinking, their leadership and teamwork skills. We want to work on all of that. So, in talking to parents, they definitely want to do that with us, but they were very wary of some of the games that were played, and I totally understand that, right? Like, there's a reason why we don't promote any like Call of Duty or anything like that, because that's for a specific audience, and I don't want the younger crowd to also get, you know, mistake that for something that we want to play and promote. Um, we have a Discord community, but the Discord community isn't something that we make public like that because, again, there are certain crowds that have that are not suited for everybody. Um, Although we try our best to make sure our communities is always safe and inclusive and full of like-minded individuals, you do have those issues, but like I said, we want to make sure that the kids are good. So in doing that, talking to the parents, when we ask them, well, what games do they really play, mostly they talk about the three games that I usually hear the most that they're okay with their kids playing, pretty much unsupervised, is Minecraft, Roblox, and then even Rocket League to a certain extent. um Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. um who's that? Medellin, thank you. So, so in looking at how we could build those communities, we started coming across some studies and started seeing, some of the dangerous stuff that happens in these Minecraft and Roblox servers. And all right, Maddie, nice to meet you. Appreciate it. um so, we so yeah, we try to figure out how we can build those communities. And when we started doing that, we started looking at the research and started seeing that there was a lot of uh online dangers and things like that with games, especially Minecraft and Roblox. The communities sometimes can be very toxic. The 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 messages that get passed, especially on Roblox, can be also very problematic. So we were trying to figure out how we could address that. And one thing that we truly focus on here is being the change that we want to see. So that's where we started with the online communities, and we're going to focus on building online clubs for Roblox and Minecraft. Well, we're going to start with Minecraft and kind of pilot that and see how that goes, and then we'll probably look at other communities for online clubs for Roblox, Fortnite, Rocket League, and then of course, for some of our STEM programs, we're going to also offer that virtually as well, so that this way, for those who want to take part in some of our stuff, whether it's our intro to cybersecurity or our cyber safety 101 courses, our intro to ethical hacking and Linux, our coding with our learning Python coding with Rocket League. We want to try to offer these virtually as well. So we're expanding our reach. We want to expand, the reach of the wolf pack and everything. And it's gonna be. I think we're gonna focus on like the original Minecraft. We think we're gonna do we're gonna do the Java. We're gonna do the Java, and we'll probably do Bedrock too. We'll see. Like I said, we're building out the servers and stuff now, but like I said, we're gonna definitely leave that up to the community. But to um, but to address the security concerns, we built a brand new Discord community that has several security checks in place, and then it's also heavily moderated, or it will be heavily moderated, not just by myself, but also members of the Wolf Pack, members of the community. Some of the streamers that I just mentioned earlier, they'll also be part of it, and they'll probably check in from time to time. But we're all human, and sometimes humans um make mistakes, or we don't see everything. So just in case, we partnered with another organization out of the UK who has a very who also have who created a really cool program that does monitoring as well, and they follow stricter privacy laws than we do. So for my cybersecurity folks, we have we follow things like COPA and things like that for Child Online Privacy Protection, the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. But the UK has a program called GDPR. So that is a very strict guidelines, and especially when it comes to our community, we want to make sure that they are as safe as possible online. Now, we will still be monitoring and moderating certain things. We still will ask to, make sure they're using best practices and not oversharing any information. Like, don't share your personal information. Don't share where you live. If you want to say, hey, I'm from this locale or this location, that's fine. But, putting up your personal information, we just want to make sure that that's safe. We want to make sure that no one's putting out any links that can be dangerous. Yeah, like there you go, phishing links. We want to make sure that no that we want to make sure that everybody is safe and just doing what they love. And I also want to give the parents peace of mind to also know that their kids are doing what they love in a safe environment. So that's where the online Wolfpack communities will be focusing on first, and then we'll, like I said, see how that does, and then we'll move into other games. In addition to that, we are going to bring back our tournaments. Now, tournaments. Let me not say we're not doing online, because we will be exploring that as well. But our local tournaments, so our Mario Kart, our Smash Brothers, Street Fighter, Tekken, all of that is coming back in the spring. So if not, probably in March. So be on the lookout for that. And like I said, what I want to do is probably do an online tournament as well as an in-person tournament, and then have the in-person champion play the online champion in like a grand championship. But I wanna even the playing field, you know what I'm saying? So if we do because if we do the online champion playing the in-person champion, then they'll have to play online, which would play to the strength of the online gamer. So I'm exploring some options to see if we can probably do like a big event where we can do everything, and then maybe you know, we find a way to play online as well as play in person. I don't know yet. This is the year 2025 is the year where Alpha Esports and Technology decides we're gonna go big or go home, and we're gonna throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. So yeah, appreciate it, Maddie. Yeah, definitely. Like we really want to get some stuff out there. We've talked with other orgs about building talent pipelines for some of our younger gamers who want to pursue professional careers. We're looking at game development tracks, but everything that we're doing is done with first and foremost the goal of making sure they're the best versions of themselves at all times. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. So if you're a streamer and you're interested in partnering with us, shoot us a message and let us know. Again, we are very particular about what we want to promote. We are all we are definitely about building communities and inclusivity and building safe spaces for everyone. I trust me, I don't mind if if there's some cussing or anything like that, but we do want to avoid any super toxic situations, especially since again we do deal with a lot of middle school and high school age kids, and we want to show them an alternative to what they think is the norm, right? You hear the Call of Duty, and I'm not trying to single out Call of Duty, but you hear about the Call of Duty lobbies, or you hear about. I mean, I've heard Marvel Rivals can get toxic at times as well. So streamers on Zelda always do tournaments. Yeah, like I said, so we gotta yeah, we're definitely gonna explore some options. But we want to make sure we are thinking of our goals, our core values, and our three pillars of play, learn, and elevate. Though that will always uh you know be the priority. So while we are working on that, so like I said, so yesterday we started trying to build out our Minecraft server, and we ran into some issues, but then we ended up getting it working, or we ended up getting the server up and running. But then when we tried to connect to the server, it was giving us a bunch of hard times. So so anyway, I was just checking to see what was going on in the chat. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we are going to make sure our Minecraft server is doing what it's supposed to do this time. The accepts offers from designer somehow. Um, I mean, I think that's something we can probably explore. Even, I'll be honest with you, not just offers from designers, but I mean, if you're willing to teach a class or a workshop, I think that's also something that we could explore as well. Like my again, we're trying to build communities, and obviously everybody has, especially in today's economy and with everything going on, uh people should figure out ways to put some money in their pockets. So let's see if we could work something out like that, where we can offer workshops on using programs or whatever to do that. And yeah, let's see how we can make that work. I think to connect, I mean, you could just you see it right here on the bottom third. You can go to Alpha Esports Tech on all of these platforms. I'm usually most active on Instagram. So if you go to Alpha Esports Tech on Instagram, and shoot me a message there, or you can go to alphaesportstech.com. All right. So, let's see here. So we are going to start from scratch with our Minecraft server. All right. So just rock with me here for a second, everybody. Boop, 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 boop. These are Bedrock servers. I don't want to do a Bedrock. We're gonna do Java. All right. So with now, let's move over here. So again, just like yesterday, we have our server. We built a separate machine that will house our Minecraft servers, because there's actually another thing that I'm gonna be looking at with Crafty, and that'll probably be something that will unfortunately be a little bit more exclusive for, like I said, for classes and workshops. But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna make a Linux server and put Crafty on there, and that'll probably house a lot of our servers as well. Just because Crafty has a lot of cool features that I want to use as far as backing up the servers and things like that. So anyway, so right now we have a small mini PC, and we are going to go ahead and download Minecraft. So what the mistake we made last time was we downloaded Minecraft but didn't pay attention to the version of Java. So you want to make sure whatever version of Minecraft you're downloading, you want to also make sure you're downloading the proper Java version when you're doing the Java server. So you want to go start, and they also have a wiki that you can also use. So what we'll do is we'll just right click and we'll open the link in a new tab for that. And then to download our server, we'll just click this link here. So this is Minecraft server 1.21.4 jar, and that jar represents a Java file. So we're going to go ahead and download Java as well to make sure we can run this program. So we'll go ahead and click that, and you'll see a thing here that says server.jar. And then if you open up the folder, you'll see it has the little coffee, that little coffee logo, and that indicates that it's a Java file. So I'm gonna make the icons a little bit bigger just so you can see it. Let's make them large. Okay, well, it says server. So what we're gonna do is we're going to copy it, and then we're gonna go to our we made a folder, so you can just actually what it will do is we'll just say click new. So right click your desktop, go to new and hit folder, and then name your folder, and we'll name it Minecraft, like we named this one Minecraft server. So once we do that, we take the Java file that we just opened and move it in here. Now, what you see here is basically all the stuff because we ran the server earlier, but we're going to go ahead and, since we're saying we're going to start from scratch, actually, no, I'm just going to run the server. What you want to do when you start the server, you want to right click it, you want to go open with, and then, like I said, you see you want to download Java. So before we do that, let's go ahead and show you where you can download Java. Oh man, yeah, we definitely got to talk about that the DeepSeek stuff too. Um, so we'll go here. So this is no. So you can download. You probably could not download this version of Java as well, but you want to get the SE development kit. And remember, we're using. All right, cool, Maddie. Because we downloaded the 1.21, we want to make sure we're using the Java development kit. So JDK 21, and then you want to find, this is a Windows machine, so we're going to use the MSI installer. So we'll go ahead and click that, and then when you click it, it'll show up in your downloads folder. So as you can see here, if we just go to here, you'll see JDK 21 Windows, and then when you're ready, you just go ahead and double click it to install. As you can see, it'll say, well, we've already installed it, but when you go through the process, you want to go ahead and click yes and everything. So let's see. Actually, I'm gonna show you 23 real quick. And then you'll see it says welcome. This will guide you through everything. You want to go next. And I'm gonna stop it here just because I already have 21 and I don't want to confuse the server with 23. Hold on one second. Oh boy. All right, so It's been a day and it's been a week and it's only Tuesday. All right, so like I said, so we're gonna go ahead and you want to go through that process. Make sure you install the Java Development Kit 21. So now let's go back to our server. Um, and when you run it, you're gonna hit open with, and you're gonna hit Java and select OK. And if you don't want to do that, the other thing you can do is it's going to take a while to load up. But the other thing you can do is where is the you can go to your command prompt and you could run this here. But if you want to start it with the graphical user interface, you can leave out this no GUI part. But basically, you would just copy this, go down here, type in CMD, and then go to open. I typically like to go to the desktop, and then just hit paste, and then hit enter, and then it'll start. So you can do that. However, like I said, I already kind of double clicked and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and start that up, and as you can see, this is our server. Now, I did want to review something real quick. When you go in here, you'll see it says it's loading recipes, it's loading advancements, it's starting the Minecraft server 121.4, and this is the vanilla version of Minecraft, so there's no mods, there's nothing in there. And then it says default game type creative, and then it's generating all this information. Now, let's say you want your server to be a survival server and not necessarily creative. You would you could actually go ahead and stop this server, go in here, and I think I jumped ahead again, so I'm messing up all over the place. So I'm sorry. Before you run your server, you want to go to the EULA, and when you first go to the EULA file, it'll say false. That's not false, that's FLAS. So it'll say false. What you want to do is you want to change it to true, and that's basically saying that you agree to the terms and conditions of the end user license agreement. So EULA stands for end user license agreement. You want to go ahead, and if you want to read the end user license agreement, you would just copy this here. Like I said, we already did that. But once you agree to it, you will hit true. You'll make sure you change EULA to true, and then you save it, and then you close that. Now, for those who want to make sure they read everything like we do, here is the end user license agreement. So this is basically telling you what you can and can't do, right? They want to make sure that you're following the best practices for online safety, make sure you're following their community guidelines, make sure you're following the core values. And again, this is perfect because this truly aligns with everything that we're doing. But yeah, so you want to go ahead and make sure you're reading all of this. And then when you agree to once you finish reading, you can go ahead and switch that EULA to true. Okay. So, once all of that is done, the next thing you want to do is, if you look here, there's a server. This will say server properties. You want to right click and you want to open with Notepad, and then this is where you see your server properties, right? So again, do you want to accept transfers? Do you want to allow flight? And then if you just kind of anything you want to make changes to, this is where you can do it. What you want to name the server? So this is the Wolfpack Minecraft server, right? Do you want to change your ports, right? So this is if you're going to utilize anything like port forwarding or anything like that. We won't be going over port forwarding, at least not for this server publicly, just because again it's going to be a private server, invite only. But when we do make the video, we will go over how to how to port forward or how to use other services. But here you can see game mode. There is creative, or if you wanted to change it to survival, you could do that as well. And then when you're done, you just want to make sure you hit save. And then once all of that is done, so you want to make sure your EULA is set to true, whatever your game mode is, and all that information in the server properties is set. And now you want to go ahead and double click or run that command again, and now you'll see, like I said, the server is up and running. So it's preparing the world, it's getting everything, preparing the spawn area and all of that. So the running is running a server on 25.565. So now that we have our server running, what we want to do is you want to go to a machine that has Minecraft installed. Now remember, we are doing a remote desktop, so we are technically, well, we're working on this computer from another computer. So but we want to focus on the IP address. Our IP address is internal, so it's local. And what we'll do is we can start Minecraft. Actually, I think this is Bedrock, so let me close out of that and go to find the right Minecraft launcher. Oh boy, I'm gonna go, give me 1 second because I need to log in with my credentials and all right, so we logged into our Minecraft stuff with our information. We want to make sure we are using Minecraft Java Edition, and we are going to go ahead and hit play. Now it's just preparing, and once it loads up, we will move everything over. All right, so we have everything loading up here. We'll maximize the screen and Minecraft Java Edition. Now remember, we should be fine this time. So hopefully it won't give us any hard times. So let's go ahead and allow access. And now we want to, why is it still saying incompatible version? It shouldn't be incompatible. I mean, we went ahead and downloaded the right, failed to connect to the server, incompatible client. Please use 121.4. All right, hold on. One second, y'all, because now I'm getting a little irritated because I feel like we did all of that. think I know what's wrong now because it's 121.4. So now let's do that. Got me looking crazy on stream. I ain't even do nothing to nobody. All right. So we are back. All right. 121.4. There we go. So now proceed. We should be finding our server. Now play nice. There we go. So now if I want to connect to the server, and there we go. We are in our Minecraft server. All right, so like I said, I need to polish up everything on creating the server, but we now know that we do have our server. It's working, it's running smoothly. So boom, we have a Minecraft server, ladies and gentlemen, everybody watching. So now that we have that working, we have it, whatever we can get it, we can knock that off our list. Want to make sure everything works. Everything looks good. All right, so server works. All right, so we got that working. That's awesome. So we have our server. We can up, and as you can see, we can actually, let me go back to it. We can accept up to 20 people in our server. So I am super excited now that we have that running. So we will clean that up, work on what we need to work on for the port forwarding, to make sure that it's accessible to our folks online. And yeah, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that moving. So real quick, I just want to double check the chat. Yes, Maddie, I did not forget about you. I will definitely check to see what you got, what you sent. If you haven't done so already, please, please, please be sure to give us a follow. We're trying to get the numbers up because the other initiative that we're focusing on is turning this into its own ecosystem of content. So not only are we building our team of streamers, we also have our own channel where we'll be streaming events out of the center. As if you want to see, hopefully the cameras aren't still. As you can see, like these are some of our stations here. Um, our gaming stations. You see over there in the corner, we have another streaming setup. And then we also have a setup. You can't see it, but we have another setup for like our consoles and things like that. So we'll be hosting events. Ooh, 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 stop that. That was bad. Oh, that's bad. Stop that. But yeah, we'll be hosting events and streaming the events as well. Like I said, it's all about creating that community and giving gamers a place to call their home and just enjoy gaming, whether it's geez, whether it's casually or anything like that. So we do have some cool stuff coming down the pipeline now. So we got the server stuff out of the way. I just need to now go ahead and create a video how to do that and add that to the channel, and add that to our content library. So that's something I can do another time. The next thing we want to focus on, has anybody taken a look at the DeepSeek yet? I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how how DeepSeek is working. Uh, Give me 1 second, y'all. That is a phone call I have to take. All right, y'all, we're back. So, DeepSeek. So actually, let's. I mean, there. You know what's crazy is that DeepSeek has taken over the news, and rightfully so, because um they basically slapped the AI community upside the head and said, "Oh, you're not letting us utilize your chips, your chipsets and processing and all of that. That's cool. We're gonna build our own. We're gonna build our own AI chatbot that's going to be better than ChatGPT, and it's going to use less power." So, you know, where Nvidia, where you know everybody's trying to get 4090s and even the new 50 series of graphics cards to run their AI models. DeepSeek is using like the H model, the H series, so H800s, and they are way less advanced than most of the chips. And again, that was done by design by the United States government. Um, and when DeepSeek came out with their stuff, it basically crashed the market. I mean, Nvidia lost 17% or something like 17%. I think it was like something like almost $600 billion. Uh, so I'm trying to be very careful of what I want to say, right? Because uh, I've seen some things from DeepSeek so far. I haven't downloaded it or done anything with it, but a couple friends of mine have downloaded it, and absolutely um, just are talking. Can't stop talking about it. Um, and they're and on top of it, the version that they have, it's free. It's free to use. So there is no paid. You don't have There is no paywall. You can download it for free. Now let's talk about the giant elephant in the room. Um, the fact that it's owned by the Chinese government, right? Um, I saw, and I even posted um, the privacy rules, right? Because And it's not just because it's an app run by the Chinese government, because I feel like you should do that for any app. I did the same thing for Chat GPT and everything. You want to make sure you're when you're using these models, right? Because especially when you're doing like artwork or anything creative with it, you want to be careful of what you're putting in it, because they can own the rights to your stuff. They can track what you're doing. DeepSeek is no different. DeepSeek, I'm trying to find. Um, Hold on. Boom, 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 boom. I wish I knew how to type right now. And for my cyber security folks, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. Like I said, we did some gaming stuff, getting our Minecraft server up and running. We talked about making sure we secure it, or make sure we have access secure. I'm trying to see if I can find the privacy policy. Actually, I know where I can find the privacy policy, because I posted a part of the privacy policy yesterday. Um, so if you check out their privacy policy, this is some of the stuff that they mentioned that they collect, right? We automatically collect certain information when you use the services, including the Internet of Other network activity information, such as your IP address, unique device identifiers, and cookies. We collect certain device and network connection information when you access the service. The information includes device model, operating system, keystroke patterns or rhythms, IP address, and system language. We also collect service-related diagnostic and performance information, including crash reports and performance logs. We automatically assign you a device ID and a user ID. Where you log in from multiple devices, we use information such as your device ID and user ID to identify your activity across devices to give you a seamless login and for security purposes. So this was blowing up all over, this was all over Twitter about, the security issues and you know, the ties to China, and basically, like I said, it's TikTok all over again, right? TikTok had the same issues, right? It's a Chinese ran app, which means the Chinese government can request that data and user data, biometric information. All of that information can get used by the Chinese government to further their cyber espionage efforts. And I will say, there is a legitimate concern about the cyber espionage efforts, because if you just look at Salt Typhoon. Salt Typhoon was an attack by a threat actor that's operated by the Chinese government. So there are legitimate concerns. However, to make it seem like uh you know Chinese apps are the only ones that collect that information. Hold on, we'll just right. So let's be fair, right? When you use Chat GPT is also going to get your IP address, device details like the operating system and model, location, browser type, usage type, every prompt. So it's capturing your keystrokes. So it's logging your interactions with the AI as well. So it's the same, it's the same thing, right? Let's Gemini, same thing. IP addresses, domain names, geographic location, device information, hardware, operating system, browser, screen size. So actually, let me just get that out of the way so you can see, right? So Gemini collects the same information, right? How about Microsoft Copilot? So it's going to collect your prompts, your AI generated responses, and your interactions with the system. So again, your keystrokes. Is let's see, it's collecting IP addresses, it's collecting operating system information, it's collecting information related to your browser, the internet address of your computer, your unique device identifier, the device type. So so all of these are collecting the same information, right? So if that's the case, and all of these other um, AI models are collecting the same information, why the big deal about it being from China? Well, the idea is that all of these other programs and all of these social media apps, so Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, X, whatever. Yes, they collect this information, but they also have to abide by the rules and regulations of the United States government. They have to follow the privacy rules and privacy laws. Now, actually, so whereas the Chinese government don't necessarily have to, right? The Chinese government doesn't have to abide by those rules and regulations, right? So the thought is apps like TikTok don't have to follow the same rules like a Facebook does, or an Instagram or a Twitter or does, right? So because they don't have to adhere to the United States policies and regulations, and they're run by the Chinese government, which for the fact of the matter is an adversarial is an adversary of ours, right? Like I said, look up Salt Typhoon, look up Flax Typhoon, look up a lot of the cyber espionage that's been going on. So they are an adversary. So because they don't have to adhere to the same laws and rules and regulations, that's where the risk is. And because it's ran by the Chinese government, and the Chinese government can at any point say, hey, we need this information, and you have to honor the government, they have to do that. Now, and I think I saw Zay on here, man. Zay, I was just shouting you out again, introducing everybody and telling everybody to give you a follow. But what's up, brother? But and yeah, and again, go follow Zay the Blurred Gamer, man. Awesome dude. Super excited to see what he's doing with the community. Now, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of them, they do have to follow. They are supposed to adhere to the rules. Do they? No, because every time you turn around, there's another major data breach, and there's another security issue or security concern, right? Look, Facebook, right? Facebook just had to pay a massive fine recently. So, and also the part, I'm going to say the quiet part out loud, just like how the fear of the Chinese government going to DeepSeek or TikTok or Red Note and saying, hey, give us your user data. Guess what? If the United States government issues a subpoena to any of these social media companies, what do you think they're going to do? And I'm not anti-establishment. I'm not anti-government. I'm just saying, if we're going to give a certain level of scrutiny, I feel like we should give it all across the board, right? Here's my take on TikTok. Should TikTok be banned? Yes, but under a certain condition. It should be banned, and United States users should not have access to it until they fix all of the security concerns, until they fix some of the issues that are in the source code that we know exist with some of the biases and stuff like that. I feel like just like as in my day job as an ethical hacker or a penetration tester, when we do an assessment on an application, when we do an assessment on a business, when we do an assessment on a company, when we do an assessment on a government entity, whoever the client is, when we do an assessment on a client, at the end of the assessment, we deliver a report. And in the report, it talks about what we found, recommendations on how to fix it, and the ramifications if they don't, right? Um, if you don't fix it, what's going on, Thumbstick? If you don't, then there's consequences, right? So if you're a company that needs to, let's say you're a company that deals with financial transactions, you have to abide by PCI DSS. You have to follow those rules. If you're a medical facility or deal with any medical records, you have to be compliant within HIPAA, right? So if they aren't, they can't become compliant. They can't recertify, which means they can't operate. I feel like there needs to be some type of regulation, not just for TikTok, but for all of these apps, right? But TikTok is a perfect start, right? You have a perfect storm of things that we can address, and TikTok is inclined to do it, because if they weren't inclined to do it, they wouldn't have gone down to kiss the ring of the president and create and pull the stunt that they pulled over the weekend, saying, oh well, we have to go dark on the 19th, but we're going to go dark a whole 24 hours early to drum up outrage from the community, to kind of put pressure on the politicians to extend things. So I feel like they're motivated to do it. If you sell them to another company, yes, there's going to be some assessments or things done for due diligence in the acquisition phase, which honestly they probably won't, because they want to hurry up and get the sale done. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to sell it to a US company, they're just going to sell it as is and hand it over and say, here you go, it's your problem now. So no one's going to say, hey, let's do our due diligence. So I feel like instead of saying sell it to Microsoft, or sell it to dude from Shark Tank, or sell it to fucking Mr. Beast, or whoever the hell you're going to sell it to, instead of saying that, saying, hey, you want to continue to operate here? Here's what you need to do. Fix this in your source code. Fix these vulnerabilities. Make sure that you're not working with, show us that you're not whatever with the Chinese government and all of that, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the whole debacle about TikTok and them selling TikTok isn't about TikTok. It's about the algorithm. The algorithm is the quote unquote secret sauce, because TikTok's algorithm is unmatched when it comes to the reach that a user can get. If you can get the algorithm or your version or your corner of TikTok working in a way that works best for you, that's how you get the desired outcome of the interaction with your users, with your followers, your subscribers, your whoever it is. And everybody is racking their brains trying to figure out how to get the algorithm to work in their favor. I know people who I know parents who operate businesses and use TikTok, and because they got their algorithm tweaked how they want it to work, they won't let their kids use their devices to go on TikTok because it messes up the algorithm. So I actually know a parent who was like, hey, I went and got my kid their own device so they can go on TikTok on that one, because I can't have them messing this up, because this is where I make my money. And I'm not knocking the hustle, right? I'm just saying this is what it's all about. That algorithm and that reach. But if there's an opportunity to say, fix your crap, fix your stuff, right? And not only is an opportunity to do that for TikTok, it's also an opportunity to go, Okay, so you now TikTok did that. Now let's talk to you, Zuckerberg. Let's talk to you, Musk. Even though Musk is basically like the number three in the country right now, or whatever. But there's an opportunity here to get if it's all if we're truly talking about security. And now I'm wondering if we even are, because if it was about security, then TikTok should have never came back in the first place. But if it's truly about security, and it's truly about the privacy, and it's truly about the betterment of the users and the people, then let's secure the people. Let's secure the applications. Let's stop sending out letters every 3, 4, 5 months saying, hey, this medical facility leaked your, there was a data breach and this medical facility leaked your information. Hey, this financial app leaked your information. This crypto app leaked your information. This banking app leaked your information. This hospital leaked your information. Let's actually do the work. You know, that's one of the things about the cybersecurity community that frustrates me, is if we're in it to help people, then let's can help people. All right, I'm getting off my I'll get off my soapbox a little bit. Thumbstick, let's see. Wish you worked at our company. We're using software that compromises developer app data multiple times, but they're swamped with other security risks. And see here, and now here's the thing about when you work with when you work with, there's never enough security staff to go around, and that sucks. That, and thanks for sharing that, Thumbstick. Um, that's what sucks, is budget cuts and the economy and whatever. You're laying off people, or you're not hiring, or you're outsourcing your work to, and I'm not getting into the whole H-1B visa debate, right? Train our people, get them jobs and get them trained. And that's the other initiative that we're working on with Alpha Esports of Technology and Alpha Cybersecurity, is getting people trained and certified. But that's a plug for a little bit later. They want security when it's convenient, or there's never a budget for security until the budget manifests itself because you got hit, right? No one cares about security until you need security. It's like, you know, it sucks. And here's what I've learned with working at working for startups, is when you decide to develop an app, right? Zay's here, Thumbstick's here, so I'm gonna use y'all. I don't know if Maddie's still here, but let's say Zay, Maddie, and Thumbstick decide we want to build an app. We're all coders and developers. Let's figure out an app. And they sit down and they go to a coffee shop, or they go to like a co-working space, and they flesh out this app that they want to build. And they're like, all right, let's hurry up and get a minimal viable product. Let's get it working product so we can get it in front of some investors and venture capitalists, right? So you're just worried about getting the app up, getting your idea up and running, showing proof of concept. So security, all of those things are afterthoughts, right? Now you do that. Now you get it in front of some investors. They're like, we love it. Here's a couple $1,000,000, or here's whatever, build it out, grow it. Now you have to build on the app. Everything that you promised for the app, you have to continue to build out with the app. And now you have to hire people and all of that to make this all happen. Again, you're not worried about security. You're worried about making sure that these VCs or these investors are getting a return on their investment for the next round of investing, right? So now you're boom, 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 boom. Now the app blows up. But you still have these security issues. So now again, you're still not addressing the security issues just yet. You're just building and building and building. And then at some point you say, okay, we want to get acquired, or we need to become compliant, or whatever. Or worst case scenario, you get breached. Oh crap, we should secure it. But what happens is at that point the development team has either been switched out or swapped out. Some people left the company or whatever. Or the ones who are there with day one, the last thing they want to hear is that their baby is ugly. And that's what I compare app security to, right? When the first startup I worked for, I had just come from no, they don't, because okay, it's a security versus convenience balance, right? So the thought with security versus convenience is the more secure a program is, the less convenient it is, right? Let's use I'll use an example, a real life example. When I was working at the school system, the teachers used to leave their computer signed in. The teachers, they would log into their computer on Monday, and they would stay logged in from Monday to Friday. They wouldn't log out, they wouldn't shut down, they wouldn't reboot for updates, nothing. They would just let it rock. When I started implementing security, I said, okay, well, now there's going to be timeouts, right? There's going to be, if you're inactive for more than 15 minutes, the computer's automatically going to lock itself. There's going to be a password policy. You have to change your password every 90 days. If there's a mandatory update or patch, we'll push them and reboot. I had the teachers union go to the superintendent to have me fired. Why? Because now I added an additional 5 to 10 minutes a day to the teacher's work schedule, because now they have to log in all the time. Now they have to log in. They have to log into their emails and all of that. They can't just turn the monitor off and whatever, right? And they were like, oh, you're overreacting, you're paranoid or whatever. So what I ended up actually having to do was, like, I ended up doing a pen test on the school, and the security got in the way. That's exactly what it was. The security got in the way, and they literally were trying to have, they called for my termination. They wanted the superintendent to fire me. And it wasn't until there was a security issue, and then it was like, oh, okay, we totally understand what it was, what the situation is. But guess what? That was a school system. There's companies that still operate like that. So going back to the startup, when I'm working for the startup, I had just come from the consulting space. The consulting space is cutthroat. You go in, you do the assessment, you deliver the report, fix it. I'll be back in a couple weeks to do remediation testing, or I'll be back in a couple months or 6 months or a year, whatever. Boom. So when I went to my first startup, and now I'm an in-house security guy, I brought that same mentality to the developers, and it really caused a lot. It caused a lot of issues, because they're like, we got 2 weeks. I didn't know what a 2-week sprint was. I didn't know anything. I just knew fix your crap. So because of that, once I took some time to understand how the developers do what they do, I started to understand, and I actually started to feel for the developers. The developers are under a lot of stress. They got a lot of work to do in a little bit of time. These 2-week sprints go by quick. So I feel for them. And sometimes, some of the stuff that they're working on, it doesn't align with what should be done, right? So sometimes they will find shortcuts, or they won't use secure coding libraries to implement their stuff, and that leads to other issues. So that's where the whole concept of pushing left, of getting security involved early in the development phase, right? Early in the software development life cycle. If you get security in on the whiteboarding phase and of it, now you're implementing security early on. Now they can focus on getting the security, getting that stuff in there. Does it slow the process? Yes, but does it make does it make it more secure? Yes. So thumbstick, yes, I agree. Just make sure you have enough people, in high places to sign off on it, and that like a need to know basis, right? Because what happens is you do that, and then you're like, you'll think that, hey, look, I found this, I fit in all of this. You actually might end up getting in trouble. There's another story I have about that as well. So what I would say is get, someone high up, with the network team or the IT team or even the development team, and just basically say, this is what we plan on doing. Don't tell anybody. We'll submit a report in a couple weeks. And then, because the one thing developers will always say when you test their app is, we know the vulnerability exists, but can you show impact, right? They want proof of concept. So if you can show proof of concept, then you got them. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna take a quick break and take this call. All right. So yeah. Yeah. So if you're gonna test it, just make sure you have permission. Look, that's how we. That's how we I was working with a crypto company, and that's what we ended up doing. That's what we had to do. We actually had to we so there was a crypto company. I'm not going to say the name of the company. But we found a bunch of vulnerabilities, and they kept saying, show impact, show impact, show impact. We found a blind SQL injection that basically would tell us uh, if a user was valid, right? So again, I'm gonna use Thumbstick and Zay, right? So let's say Zay is a user on the app and Thumbstick isn't. How this SQL injection vulnerability worked was, we would ask it to look in the database for Zay's email address and Thumbstick's email address. And because it was a blind SQL injection, there was no visible response, right? So you don't get a user exists or user doesn't exist. You just get it's just quiet, right? Now there's things you could do. You could look at the HTTP code, like you could check out the response codes and see all of that, see if it's a 200, 300, 400 type code. But the app was secure to the point where they just used the 200 for everything. So whether it was good or bad, you got a 200. So there was no really telling. So anyway, we find that there's a SQL injection vulnerability, but it wasn't giving us anything visible. And tell me to shut up if I'm going off the deep end too technical. But what we ended up doing was, because we couldn't see anything, we would tell it to check the database for the user. If the user existed, then pause the app for 10 seconds before responding. Right? So basically, it would cause the app to just, like I said, it would cause a 10-second delay, right? If the user didn't exist, then proceed as normal. So now we would type in our commands, and when we hit send, we would start the timer, and we sit and watch. And I'm using 10 seconds as an exaggeration. It was probably a little less than that, but we would sit there and wait, right? So maybe 3 seconds or 5 second delay, right? We do a 5 second delay, we wait, and we count, and then we would get the response code. And then also you could tell in the response code the response time. So that's how we knew that. So that's how we determined the list of users. We just started throwing random email addresses in there, and if the user exists, the app would delay before we're getting a response. So we found that, and then from there we were able to do another SQL injection that allowed us to actually log in with the user by sending a malicious SQL command that told the database, I don't care what the password is, we added 1 + 1 = 1, and that returned true. So therefore, because that returned true, the whole thing returned true, therefore authenticate the user. So we got in with the user. We found the users that existed. We got in with the users, but then we had it had a multi-factor authentication. It needed a 5-digit code that was sent to the user's text message. It was either sent to their text or email. Now, 5-digit, 4 and 5-digit MFA codes are weak because you can put that through a script or through some type of program like Burp Intruder or something like that, and basically run down that list quickly. What made it even better was that the timeout for this app, the timeout for the app was like 5 minutes. So I can get through a whole list of like 100,000 combinations in that in no time in that 5 minutes. The other thing is they didn't have any rate limiting protection, which means there was no timeouts, right? So for example, if you put in the wrong information 3 times or more, you get locked out, or you get told you need to change your password or whatever. There was no protections like that on this app. So now it was like, okay, we figured out the users, check. We logged in as a user, check. Now we have to bypass multi-factor authentication. Oh, I ran it through the script. Boom. Logged in as the user, we bypassed multi-factor authentication. So now we took all of these, and then there were a couple other vulnerabilities, but I didn't want to go into the whole story. But we took all of these vulnerabilities and chained them and put it into a report and said, here. So yes, separately, this is probably a low. This is probably a medium. This is probably a medium. This one's a high. This one's a high. But because this couldn't get done with this, it would probably get downgraded in the eyes of the developer. So now by chaining everything the way we did, we turned all of those lows, mediums, and highs into one massive critical. So that's where you have to show. And so we showed impact. They said, oh crap, we need to fix it. Also, the user that we used to show impact was a multi-billionaire VIP user of the app. So the CEO was definitely invested at that point when they saw the name of the user and saw that we could access their account. I wish I could say, yeah. We found a vulnerability where the users start from 1 and 1 was a super admin, so things went downhill from there, but we've at least reported that to them. Yeah, I mean, look, do your part and just CYA. If you find it, report it. If they don't fix it, whatever, because what happens is if you don't go through the proper channels of reporting it and basically covering your ass or covering your behind, I'm sorry if I have any young people watching, what ends up happening is if they end up getting breached because of that vulnerability, the first thing they're going to say is, well, why didn't security find this? And now you're going to get in trouble. You're going to take the fall. You're going to get blackballed and deal with all the punishments. So make sure whatever it is you do, hey, nope. Hey, look, on this day, I found X, Y, and Z. There was a situation where I was tracking someone for like months in the school system that was doing a lot of stuff, and I kept a whole file, and I kept telling them that they needed to fix it, and I just kept getting pushed and pushed away, and then come to find out, that's when I found out that school networks were monitored by the Secret Service because it's the same fiber line for all municipalities and government, city and state wide. So now we had FBI and Secret Service in our tech center, like, hey, we'd like to talk to you. And then of course the superintendent and the director of technology know jack squat about security. So now they're bringing me into the meeting. I'm like, well, this is why I have this here. And I sent them the file. And I'll never forget, like, the agent looked at the superintendent and was like, you mean to tell me this guy's been here this whole time and y'all could have been stopped this? But you know, that dreaded B word, budget. I think that's the biggest thing. Do your part in CYA. If you're not in charge, make sure the person above you signs off on the yes. And that last part, don't take it personally. I'm still learning that, right? Like, a mentor of mine gave me the book The Four Agreements, and I highly recommend everyone reading that. But yeah, don't take it because I'm not gonna lie, that was probably the beginning of the end for me, or the beginning of the downfall as far as how I felt about security. And Thumbstick, I've said this, you've heard me say this, I think I said it in our talk at ShaoCon. I love being a hacker. I'm not necessarily a big fan of the information security or cybersecurity community or career field. And that's because, like I said, I came in, I truly want to come in and help people, regardless of, you know, how much revenue you generated last year. Like, I would rather help the mom and pop shops and the small businesses and the homeowners with their security than I would dealing with all the Fortune 500 companies. Because those are the people who are going to feel it the most. The Fortune 500 companies are going to go to their insurance, file an insurance claim. Like I said, say they're sorry, put out some half-assed apology, and then, like I said, give you like 18 months of credit monitoring. So you know, when people don't do that, it irritates me. It irritates me to the core, when it's like, you know, I put in my time and my effort to make this happen and show you where things need to get fixed, and you'd rather not, you know, do it. If you're paying me for my opinion, why won't you listen to me? Was the vibe I'd get. It's hard to get past that. Um, Hold on. Yeah, I agree 100%. And I know it looks like I think we are in an ad in a moment, but yeah, no, Thumbstick, I actually just repeated what you were saying. Yeah, if you're paying me for my opinion, why won't you listen? Not only are they paying you for your opinion, especially if you're coming from a technical background, you're paying for my skill set, right? And you're paying me well, because I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing my pen testing services for cheap. Whether it's as an employee or as a contractor or a consultant. And actually, if it's a contractor or a consultant, I'm probably charging you double. But but if you're paying me for my skill set as well as my educated opinion or my facts, because the data, the report is all the data that I collected that leads to the conclusion, why wouldn't you take it seriously? And like I said, that's where it started to bother me, because it was just like, you know, especially when you when you really get in yeah, they are, yes, they're wasting your skills. when you start getting embedded into like the inner workings and knowing how the industry works and stuff like that, or you even start meeting, you start talking to industry insiders, and it's like you start hearing some of the stories behind the scenes. Obviously, I'm not going to go into detail, but some of the biggest breaches that have happened, it's not like they were surprised that they were happening. A lot of the breaches that were happening, they knew that the risk was there. They knew that the possibility of the breach happening was there because someone did some type of assessment or something prior to and said, "Hey, y'all might want to check this out." So, but whether it's because budget or red tape or politics, my favorite was I did a pen test one time and they told me that it wasn't in scope, even though I had the rules of engagement and the scope literally in my pocket because I printed it out and put it in my pocket. So then they were like, "That well, the application that you tested wasn't in scope." Yes, it was. Y'all changed the scope mid assessment, but that's when things like that bothered me a lot. So now I focus more on just helping people get into the field and telling them the truth about it. And thumbstick, that's one of the first things I tell them is like, hey, when you get in there and you start getting into the thick of it, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally because you're there to collect a check. And it sucks to say that because so many people, we as cybersecurity professionals, we put a lot of time into our craft and into knowing these things, right? It doesn't stop when we clock out of work. There's a lot of research that we do. There's like my home lab is ridiculous, right? We're spending thousands of dollars on research, on books, on labs, on our own tools. And this is so we can get better so that when we do go to work, we're the most effective there. So being a cybersecurity professional isn't a 9 to 5. It's not an 8-hour a day job. It's more like 10, 12, 16 hours because because the really good ones are going home and working on perfecting their craft or studying for that next certification or whatever. So, that being said, you invest a lot of yourself into these things. You spend a lot of time away from your family. Like I stopped doing consulting. One of the reasons I stopped doing consulting is because I was missing my kids like tremendously. There were times where like I would fly out on Sunday. I would be in a different state Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, fly back Friday. Or no, fly back Thursday night. Wake up Friday morning, start writing the report Friday. Saturday, spend time with the family. And then there were times where I was back on another plane the next Sunday. Right? Now, sometimes they were like, "Oh, we'll give you a break and we'll give you a couple weeks in between." So that means wheels up Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, fly back Thursday night, come, write the report Friday. And not that they gave me a vacation, it just meant the next assessment I was working on was remote, so I could do it from home. So I'm doing another assessment from home, and then like by Wednesday, Thursday of that week, they're saying, "Hey, we got another assessment for you. It's on site. Book your hotel and your plane ticket." So wheels up again Sunday, and you have to do it Sunday because this way you want to be there for the kickoff meeting on Monday. So like I did that for a couple years, and it was like the family, like, yeah, I was making really good money, but like I said, my kids weren't seeing me, my wife wasn't seeing me, my son, you know what I'm saying? Like I always said I would probably go back into it when my kids got older, got to college. But then it's like as they got older and as I got older, I was like, I'd rather not. I'd rather help people. I'd rather help the small businesses and the mom and pop shops and and those people Nah, man, it wasn't because like I was, like I said, I was making a lot of money, but then to have to see it in your children that you were missed, like that that is the worst, right? Um, to is one thing as a parent, you already know it, but to see it in your children when it's like I gotta, you know, they, Dad, where are you? Well, Dad, what are you doing? And I'm like, packing. I'm like, and they're like, again, and you see it in their eyes, like it makes it you can see it like it bothers me now, and it's years later. Um, you know, so you go through you go through that. Or what really did it for me was I was working as a government contractor for one company, and they were like, oh yeah, we want you I told them in like I told them in December. I was like, yo, this day in May, or this week in May, I'm not going nowhere. That's my daughter's, like, was it her 8th grade graduation? It was either her 8th grade graduation or her, like, it was one of her graduations, because you know down here they got fifth, they graduate from 5th grade to go to middle school, and then whatever. But it was one of her younger graduations, and I remember telling them months well in advance that I wasn't traveling, and they tried to book me anyway. And at that time, a government shutdown was looming because you know the government budget, which I'm pretty sure we'll probably have some of those again in the near future. And it was like I told them, and they were like, "Oh, well, we have this assessment we need you to do, and we need you to fly out." And I was like, "No, I told you, I'm not missing my daughter's graduation." And they kept pushing, and I kept pushing back. And then finally, they were like, "Okay, fine, we'll find someone else to do it." And then, but then, like the next week, it was like, "Oh man, the government shutdown is happening. We don't know if we'll be able to keep everybody. You know, we're only going to keep those that really want that are willing to kind of go above and beyond." And I was like, you know what? If y'all gonna play that game, then whatever. But I'm not gonna. I'm still not missing my daughter's graduation. So when the shutdown happened, so you know, I can't. I as a father, as a mentor, as a teacher, as a brother, I can't tell people to never compromise their integrity. But then the first thing I do is compromise my integrity, and that's just kind of how I feel about it. So this turned into a rant. I mean, we went from Minecraft to AI to DeepSeek to TikTok to application security to the inner workings of the cybersecurity industry. All in all, I think it was a successful stream. um, I apologize for the massive breaks in between. Like I said, life be lifing. But we did accomplish something. And what I'm gonna ask y'all is, yeah, thumbstick. I know, right? We might have to, figure some stuff out. But and this stupid camera keeps auto shifting. But like I said earlier in the stream, I'm gonna be streaming a lot more often just because I want y'all to hold me accountable, right? 2025 is the year of action at Alpha Esports and Technology, Alpha Cybersecurity. Uh, for me personally, professionally, I'm gonna throw everything at the wall, but there's definitely, yeah, man, it definitely is. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. And I'm not gonna lie, I am exhausted in every which way you can think of, physically, mentally, emotionally. Like I'm beat, right? I work like 3 jobs. I work like 2, 3 jobs, and also run the center full time. So I am exhausted, but I am fully committed in building this center to be everything I dream it can be, and it has the potential to be. So because of that, like I said, I'm asking my community as we build a community to hold me accountable. So, you know, if I said on here that we are building an online community and we started with the Minecraft server, so hold me to that. I said I need to make a video for content on my channel. If you don't see it, if you don't see a video in the coming days or weeks, hey, call me out on it. Yo, where's that Minecraft server video? If you don't hear me talk about what we're doing with port forwarding or finding ways to securely forward the ports or securely make that connection for our online club, call me out on it. But to do that, you got to make sure you're following me. Got to make sure you're following me and you're subscribed wherever you're watching. So on TikTok, on Twitch, on YouTube, even on LinkedIn, you know, call me out if you see it, right? We got our esports teams going. We have our championship Fortnite team has started the preseason, so we're looking to defend our title this semester. So we got that. We got those practices tomorrow. So I probably won't be streaming the practices. I might. I don't know. We'll see. Thumbstick, I'm gonna also probably reach out to you and Holzer about doing like some guest speaking. But yeah, trying to do that, trying to work on the other curriculum that we're building out. Yeah, man. Like I said, we're gonna make it happen. Again, if you are a content creator, a streamer, or anything, and you want to, you know, work with us on cross promotion and representing Alpha Esports and Technology, and you want us to represent you like we do with Zay and Clarosity and Lord Valak and my brother Kron, go ahead and shoot us a message and let's see how we can make that happen. If you have an idea or a workshop that you want to teach, send me the description of what you're thinking and what your price point is, and if you want to host it here, let me know. Like I said, man, this is gonna be a year of action. So yeah, man, thanks, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I try to be transparent in the whole process, man. You know, sometimes you see the end results. Like, oh yeah, look at our center and we're so awesome and everything was easy. No, man, this crap is not easy. Yeah, man, I definitely would love to be a sponge and soak up whatever information I can get from you and from him. So I'm gonna go ahead though, because I need to close up shop, and then I need to go pick up aluminum foil. But yeah, like I said, I'll probably be on tomorrow. It'll be a short stream if I do show up tomorrow, but I'll definitely be on Thursday. All right. So again, appreciate y'all rocking with me. Like I said, I know there's like probably 45. We've been streaming now for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I know like probably 40 minutes of that was just sitting here on the BRB screen because of the phone calls and stuff. But I promise I'll be better next time. But until next time, y'all be safe. Y'all take care, and I will holler at y'all later. Hey, man, you too, Thumbstick.